The iPhone 17 Pro Max made waves when it landed. I mean, sure it did. This thing is huge. But no, it turned out that the visor, this camera bar, is real. Wait, Apple calls it, let me check the notes, camera plateau. Well, there's only room for one camera bar slash plateau here. Alright, the new iPhone design has everything. A dynamic island that you can still hate, a big camera bar to be the new thing to hate. I think the design grows on you, by the way, but I do prefer it slightly more on the smaller iPhone 17 Pro. Anyway, to be fair, the Pixel's look was also something quirky to get used to, and I even prefer the old-style camera bar from the Pixels that looked more like a visor, kinda reminded me of Robocop. Now, it has this pill-shaped hill, but I actually like the placement on the Pixel a little bit better. It's more convenient to use as a finger rest hook type thing when holding it like this. They weigh about the same, have about the same thickness, and about the same display size. The screens are 120Hz OLED panels, and the iPhone 17 Pro Max can now hit 3000 nits peak. The Pixel has it slightly beat here, able to hit 3300 nits peak brightness. More importantly though, when we measured 20% APL and full screen brightness after that, the Pixel gave us noticeably higher numbers too. On the other hand, the iPhone now has a new anti-glare coating, which is not as great as on a Samsung Galaxy, but at least it's something. In general, if you're not bragging about top brightness and how well you can use this under the scorching sun, both displays are pretty excellent. In our measurements, the colors of our Pixel are slightly closer to ideal than the ones on the iPhone, but it's worth noting that OLED panels always have a bit of tolerance to them, and with a difference this small between the two, I can't say Pixel screens are better, period. Then there's the fact that the iPhones have True Tone and the Pixels now have Adaptive Tone, which kind of shifts colors slightly throughout the day to keep the image pleasant to view. So the point gets even more moot. For extra controls, the iPhone wins here if you want to have extra buttons at all, that is. The action button can be programmed to launch an app or a Siri shortcut if you wish. The camera button controls, well, the camera. And iOS has the dynamic island, which is a pretty awesome active widget space that I've gotten used to. The Pixel doesn't have dynamic or active widgets, but you can install third-party apps to do that, the beauty of Android. And both of these phones have extra secure face unlock. Apple uses the advanced Face ID sensors, which are basically the reasons for the dynamic island's existence. Google uses advanced AI, which is so secure that you can even use the face unlock for banking or financial apps within Android, and I think this is the only Android phone that allows that. Okay, the big one, performance. This year, the iPhones hit hard with performance. To be fair, they've had awesome processors for years, since they transitioned to 3nm chips with the iPhone 15 Pros. But they've also had thermal and throttling issues since the iPhone 15 Pros. The iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max fixed this with this entirely new design, new vapor cooling chamber inside, and an aluminum body to dissipate the heat. And the results were instantly apparent when running benchmarks. The iPhone 17 Pro Max can sustain performance for much longer. The Pixel 10 Pro XL also came with a big deal chip. No longer a hand-me-down from Samsung, the Tensor G5 is built by TSMC on their 3nm process and was a significant leap forward from the Tensor G4 on the Pixel 9, but it's still not as powerful as the chips in iPhones or Snapdragons in Samsungs. Okay, so it doesn't bench press well. Does it work as needed where it matters? Yes, the Pixel 10 Pro XL feels super smooth, fast and responsive when using. I really like it. So does the iPhone, of course, and it has the added benefit of having that fresh new liquid glass look. iOS 26 also has the added benefit of coming with a few more bugs than we'd like, but Apple is slowly ironing those out. So this is where the two platforms diverge significantly. Apple uses all that hardware power to entice developers and to even build out its own specialized software. There are fantastic, I dare say, pro-level apps on the App Store, like the first-party Final Cut camera or the third-party Halide camera, or real AAA games like Assassin's Creed Mirage, which finally runs with more than 30 FPS thanks to the improvements in thermal management. Google uses its expertise to give you exclusive AI features on the Pixel. The main useful call things like holding a call for you or taking a call for you, the new camera coach that will teach you how to take photos that are not quite so terrible, or the new Magic Q, which is like auto reply on steroids. To be fair to Apple, iPhones do have the baseline AI features that everyone offers, like translations, even in calls, or website summaries, or searching by image, powered by Google though, or getting more information via tap, powered by ChatGPT. It also has some features that Apple pioneered and others appropriated, like being able to crop a subject out of an image by just tapping and holding on it. Still, Google does offer extra, and some of its AI features notably work better than Apple's, like the Magic Eraser, which sounds better than the cleanup tool in the iPhone photo gallery. To summarize, both of these systems are quite mature and you won't miss a lot of features either way, but they do have slightly different flavorings. And it does matter what's available in the App Store and what's available in the Play Store. If you want more musician apps that can interact with an audio interface or something for photography or videography work, maybe the iPhone is a bit better. If you want a phone that acts as an open platform, allowing developers to mod its widgets, home screens, icons, and the phone itself has extra smart features sprinkled on top, the Pixel is a good platform. But speaking of photography and videography, don't get me wrong, the Pixel cameras are not bad. In fact, the two phones score about the same in our camera benchmark test, and again, both do very well. Just a slightly different flavor. Pixel photos come out a bit more contrasty more often and also a bit warmer. Both phones show signs of sharpening. The iPhone is the bigger offender here sometimes when it comes to greenery, but with structures and textures, the iPhone seems to be a bit softer and realistic, so it's wild to just pixel peep them. Apple upgraded its zoom to 40 times maximum this year, but Google also upped the ante. Now 100x super zoom powered by AI. And yes, Google's zoom is pretty good, surprisingly good for digital cropping. The iPhone does gain points with its features for video recording and the new selfie camera, which allows you to keep holding the phone vertically yet take selfie photos in any orientation you wish thanks to its square sensor. And if you don't like the default color calibration, it has the photographic styles, which completely change the game. I like using natural mode with a bit of fine-tuning, so that's why the iPhone has like marginally higher score in our camera test. The Pixel also has some pretty nifty exclusive camera features like Best Take, where you can take multiple group photos and kind of change the faces of everyone with their best expression from each photo, or Add Me, where you can take group photos without asking a stranger to help, or editing photos by just telling the phone what you want it to do, not digging through the menus yourself. And if you're the kind of person who loves smartphones, PhoneArena is releasing the ultimate coffee table book for phone fans. It's a passion project in the making for over a year, with deep dives and high-res photos of the most iconic, experimental, evolutionary mobile phones since the 2000s. We also got takes and quotes from big tech influencer names: Linus Tech Tips, Max Tech, Mr. Who's the Boss, Super Saf, Rig Everything, Austin Evans, Brandon Butch, John Rattinger, in no particular order. Exclusive limited run print is scheduled to release this fall. Link in the description for details and email notification. In the end, these are two phones for two kinds of different users, kinda. The iPhone will draw you in with being predictably solid, not too adventurous, but a high performer with lots of premium apps and games in the App Store that it can run Our battery life tests show that both of these can endure about the same for casual use, but 3D gaming, oh man, the Pixel's battery just melts. So I wouldn't trust it with heavy apps too, like multi-layer video editors like LumaFusion. But the Pixel 10 Pro XL is a bit more adventurous, customizable. It's helpful and it can be fun with its AI assistant and various AI features within its apps, photos, the new journal, inside the keyboard itself for better text correction and rephrasing of your sentences. AI-powered call screening and scam detection is also pretty useful to have. And whichever you choose, you will have years of support. Google promises 7 years, Apple makes no commitments but always supports its iPhones for at least 5 years. If you were my friend and came and asked me should I buy a Pixel or an iPhone, I would definitely ask more questions before providing a solid answer. And I would also ask you to drop a sub and a like and comment below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.